Hi, how are you today? And as you can see, I've got someone else in my video today. So I've got my daughter here with me today to talk about a book. So it's been a lot to try to convince my daughter, but we've got a similar book and we're both going to read from our book and also share what we learned from the book. So Nifemi, say hello to everyone.
Hello, my name's Nifemi.
So Nifemi is joining me today to talk about, do you want to introduce your book and then I'll introduce mine?
Yeah, my book is called Become a Leader Like Michelle Obama, and it was written by Carolyn Moss.
So Nifemi is reading Becoming a Leader Like Michelle Obama, and I am reading Becoming by Michelle Obama. So I'll just do a brief overview of why we're doing this book. Both of us are doing this reading from this book today. Michelle Obama, like you know, if you follow my page, is someone that I really, really admire. She's a role model. I think she's a good role model for young women, for people, not just young women, but people generally. So I think her book is also something that young boys can read, because I think it's a good idea for young boys to also have inspirational female role models. So Nifemi is going to read, so as I said, she's a guest. Nifemi is going to read a portion from her book, and she's going to tell us something that she learned from the book. So Nifemi, I'll let you go first as you're a guest. So guest first.
Alright, so I'm going to be reading chapter 4. When someone said you can't, prove them wrong. It was almost as if Michelle blinked and university was over. Princeton was an amazing place for Michelle. It was a place of personal and academic learning and growth. It was a place of friendship and heartbreak and laughter and tears and late night studying sessions. Even if a few parties here and there, it was fun. And now it's all over. It seemed like it was only yesterday that Michelle and her dad pulled up to the curb of her student house. I looked nervously around at all of the new sights. Now Michelle called Princeton home. She knew all the shortcuts and secret study location, the names of the library staff, and how to get from building to another without a map. Before she truly graduated, her last task would be to write a dissertation, which is like having a really big essay due for homework. But you have a whole year to work on it, Michelle. Work on it. Michelle, though a pretty good student, was finding herself distracted near the end of university. She was losing steam, and her lecturers were starting to notice her slipping. They were worried about her application to Harvard Law School being rejected. You know you're a good student, her lecturer told her, but you see the best I've ever seen. I'm not sure. Do you remember when the advisor who directed Michelle was Princeton material? Well, now she has some doubting her ability to get into Harvard Law School. If there's one thing we have learned about Michelle Robertson so far, it has been that when someone says she can't do something, she does everything she can do to prove them wrong. How do you think the story ends? Do you think she got into Harvard Law School? If you answered yes, you're right. Education is, and this is what she wrote, education was truly everything for me. Neither of my parents had a chance to attend university, and getting my degree changed the course of my life. Michelle later said about going to university.
So Nifemi, based on everything you read about Michelle, her being told that she couldn't do what she wanted to do, what did you learn from that particular
Well, I didn't learn anything, but it motivated me, because this year I'm in year 6 and I'm gonna do SATs, right? And it's giving me like the confidence to know that if I don't need other people to believe in me, I just need to believe in myself. And if I believe in myself, I can accomplish anything I want to believe, anything I want to do in life. So for all the children who are like in my year, or even in year 5 or year 4, year 3 or year 2 or year 1, you should have confidence in yourself, because it's actually the best thing you can actually ever have in life, because you don't rely on other people to believe in yourself. You need to believe in yourself.
Thank you so much, Nifemi. That is so great. As Nifemi said, like Michelle said, if you believe in yourself, the first thing you need to do is to believe in yourself. So I'm going to read as well from Becoming by Michelle Obama. And I'm going to read from page 46. And we're going to talk about Michelle's mother. So Nifemi's talked about Michelle. I'm going to talk about Michelle's mother. So I'm reading from page 46 where she writes about becoming me. My mother maintained the sort of parental mindset that I now recognize as brilliant and nearly impossible to emulate. A kind of unflappable Zen neutrality. I had friends whose mothers rode their highs and lows as if they were their own. And I know plenty of other kids whose parents were too overwhelmed by their own challenges to be much of a presence at all. My mom was simply even killed. She wasn't quick to judge and she wasn't quick to meddle. Instead, she monitored our moods and bore benevolent witness to whatever troubles or triumphs a day might bring. When things were bad, she gave us only a small amount of pity. When we'd done something great, we received just enough praise to know she was happy with us, but never so much that it became the reason that we did what we did. Advice when she offered it tended to be of the oddball and pragmatic variety. You don't have to like your teacher, she told me one day after I came home spewing complaints. But that woman's got the kind of math in her head that you need in yours. Focus on that and ignore the rest. She loved us consistently, Craig and me, but we were not overmanaged. Our goal was to push us out into the world. I'm not raising babies, she'd tell us, I'm raising adults. She and my dad offered guidelines rather than rules. It meant that as teenagers, we'd never have a curfew. Instead, they'd ask, what reasonable time for you to be home, and then trust us to stick to our word. So Michelle was talking about how our mom and her dad parented her. And she was talking about how her parents always said that they were not raising children, but they were raising adults. And that's one thing that I always want us to talk about when we're raising people or in our leadership positions as parents, as leaders, as mentors, is that we should try to see the people that we're mentoring not in what they are now, but the potential of what they're going to become. So Michelle's mom said, I'm not raising children, I'm raising adults. So now when I'm trying to be with Nifemi, I'm not seeing Nifemi as just Nifemi that is the 11-year-old. By the time we're shooting this, by the time we're sending this video, Nifemi is going to be 11. I'm not seeing Nifemi as 11-year-old. I'm seeing Nifemi as a 26-year-old. I'm seeing Nifemi as 30-year-old. Yes, I am. I'm seeing you as an adult because I used to be 11 once, and that's what really stuck with me from the video and from the book. As in, it's really stuck with me. As in, there are a lot of parts of the book that really stuck with me, but that particular one was one that really showed me an insight into how Michelle was raised, and a lot of other parts about Michelle's story, becoming her, the relationship we had with her dad, the relationship we had with her mom, the relationship we had with her brother and her cousins. It just reminded me of my story and how I became who I am today as well. So it's a really good story that tells us the story of how Michelle Obama became who she is. We saw her as the First Lady of the United States, but it just kind of gives us an insight into her life. And like a lot of times, I'm always talking about it on these videos or here, about how I'm intrigued by the life of people, by the stories, by the experiences and the things that make them who they are. So yes, that's what me and Nifemi came to tell you today. Nifemi, so would you recommend becoming a leader like Michelle Obama to children?
Yes.
Okay, so Nifemi recommends it, and I also recommend
not only girls but boys as well.
Okay, yes. So not only boys as well, and like I said earlier, not only girls but boys can read it as well. So I think it's a really good book. It's an autobiographical book that I really enjoy. So thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next week. I don't know if Nifemi will join us next week, but thank you so much. Nifemi, say bye to everyone.
Bye.
Bye.